I was just working mostly on our stuff. You know, I can't, we can't spend a whole lot of time when you're playing all these young kids, and even the returning players are sophomores, except for Darius, and Eloy just was here 1 year too, so you got to work on your own stuff. Let's just be the best we can be for November 14th or 15th, and if that's not good enough, we'll come back and regroup and keep going.
Yeah, some of your players were just saying that they see this as a statement game, a chance on this stage to make a statement.
It may be a statement game, but I'm hoping it's the one they think it'll be. Could be another statement. And you know, I think Kansas, on the same sense, is going to make it a statement game. Kansas is kind of like our team a year ago, where everybody kind of thought, you know what, they're not that good. And I kept telling you all, I like my team, and there's no one out there that good that scares me. We just got to get it together by the end of the year. And I said it probably 500 times. And I imagine right now with Robinson and the big kid and the guard play they have, he's saying the same thing. Now you may say, well, they're not deep. I played 6 guys last year. We played 6 guys. So I would tell you he's got a veteran team of good players, and they're trying to make a statement too.
How tough is Robinson to defend?
Very hard. He really does a great job of creating space for himself in transition. He'll throw himself in pick and rolls and create space for himself to get the ball back. Now he's playing out on the floor some, so we'll bring it up the court on rebounds, shoot the 15-footer. He's really good. It's going to be a hard matchup for us. You know, with Terrence Jones, how much do you really want to put him on Robinson? And he's probably too physical for a bunch of our guys.
How far back do you go with Bill Self? Are you guys at Kansas at the same time?
No, he followed me at Kansas. We have the same mentor in Larry Brown. When I left, he came into Kansas and has had a great career. I mean, everywhere he's gone, he's won. You know, I have fond memories of Kansas. We lost the national title game where we had the chance to win the game, missing free throws. And if it was going to happen to any program who would beat us, I would have said, let it be Kansas. I mean, I got my start in coaching there. I met my wife at Kansas. I had some wonderful times there. It's just a great campus, great tradition. You know, great coaches that were there, and Bill has followed in that line. So, get fond memories of Kansas.
John, you're taking young kids into the Garden. Duran is familiar with it. Michael's played there a ton. Is that any kind of advantage for you?
No, because it's going to be nutty. Plus, the game's going to start like midnight. You know, yesterday and Saturday we practiced late. I mean, we didn't get out of here until 10:30 yesterday night. When I told them, "All right, men, it's halftime of our game," as the practice ended. So, I mean, it's going to be rough. They're physical, they're well coached, they do their stuff, they know how they're playing, they're going to jam it in, they're going to throw you in pick and rolls to try to jam it in, they're going to jam it in, then they're going to pick and roll, jam it in, and they're going to jam it in. And you got to be ready for the physicalness of their play. But they fly up and down the court, and they shoot threes too. So ours is we drive it, shoot threes. Theirs, they posted, shoot threes. So it's kind of the same idea, you know. And I've watched enough tape. They play hard, they're tough. They're not beating themselves. So, and it's a great test. I told our guys the pressure on us was yesterday and Saturday and today a little bit, and then that's all we can do. It's the 14th of November. We finally got in some out-of-bounds plays. We talked situations yesterday for the first time. So if we're in a close game and stuff doesn't go right, don't look at my players, that's me. We just haven't had time. It's the middle of November. So let's hope it's not a one-point game and someone has the ball away.
That being said, how much can you learn about your team in a situation like that?
Well, you look at our schedule. I mean, whether it's St. John's, who's undefeated, whether it's Louisville, who's in the top 10, whether it's Indiana on the road, who's playing well, 2 30-point wins, whether it's North Carolina, I guess they're doing all right. You know, and then it doesn't matter who we play. It's like Marist. I mean, it was a 4-point game with 2 minutes to go in the half. They're all going to play well, and we're going to learn about ourselves.
Talk about Davis winning the freshman award.
What award was that?
SEC freshman award.
Good for him.
You talk a little less about his game than that?
No, he's, you know, I just want him to keep getting better. I mean, the film session we had Saturday, I was all over him. I mean, all over him. And he's looking at me like 23, 12, and 5 blocks. And I really had 7 blocks. Dwayne missed 2. What do you, and I'm like, I'm not worried about Marist. I'm worried about North Carolina. I'm worried about Kansas. I'm worried about Louisville. You can't play that way and us win. He was like, you know. So he's done well, though. He had good numbers last game.
When you say what way, what do you mean? What do you want him to do?
Got to play more physical. He's got to bend over. He can't stand straight up and down. He's got to stay in the stance. He's got to stunt more. He can't stand around. Yeah, everyone, you know, you dunk a ball and then run down. You got to play the entire possession, and when you show them on tape, you stop right there. Look at you standing up and down. And yeah, it's okay in that game, but it's not okay the next game.
What was the difference between the first 18 minutes and the last 22 minutes of that Marist game? When you're up 2 or 4?
I think they got tired. Marist got tired. They didn't have the energy. I think part of it was they were happy with how they played in the first half, and let's get out of here, I think. I don't know. But we didn't play the same team in the second half. They went 5 for 8 from 3, including the banker, but still 5 for 8. And we didn't get hands up. We didn't put pressure on. And then, you know, like I said, walking in, we scored enough points. We're just not guarding. They shot 50%. For the game, they end up in the first half. For the game, they shoot 31. So either they didn't make a shot in the second half or we defended better.
John, back to Davis for a bit. In terms of potential, how unique of a talent is he with all the other guys you've coached through the years?
He's a lot like Marcus can be. Maybe shoots it a little bit better, but the same physique, the same, you know, if you expect him to be Shaq, you're kidding yourself. He's never going to be Shaq. But I made a statement to my team yesterday that we're not here to compete with each other. You push each other. You challenge each other. You compete with the opponent. What you do is complete each other, not compete with each other, complete. So in other words, he does what he does. Somebody else better be tough and strong and bend over and push people, because the rest of you ain't dunking like him and blocking shots like him. And this guy does that. He's our point. You better play point and do your job. Play to your strengths. And that was the message yesterday going into this game. Let's just, you know, Kyle does what he does. The things that he doesn't do well, someone else do.
How did Marcus respond in practice after this?
He was good. He's good. He's listening.
If you count the exhibitions, I think Duran has like 14 assists, 1 turnover. How much better is he doing the other things besides shoot the basketball?
It's nice, you know, you can put him at point guard. That's what's nice.
Excuse me. Bless you.
Thank you. It's nice to know you can put him at point guard. Trying to get him to play with more of a motor. Everybody walks in the gym, watches my team. They just said, he needs more motor, just more motor. And he's hearing it from us, staff, people, personnel working it, and that's the key. But when you start playing that way, it really makes you uncomfortable. You may not play as well because you're just not used to running that hard, cutting that hard, being that, you know, and so he's learning that. But I'll tell you, he's still, like I said, he's our most skilled, quote, basketball player, feel for the game and understanding.
How much better do you feel about the fact that you do have another option at point guard now than you did, you know, going into this season?
No, I knew he would be the backup point. We had told him that. And it's good for him. It's what he needs. He needs to be able to play both positions, and he's shown he can do it.
Last question.
John, you've been around the block a few times in both the college and the pros. Coaching in the Garden mean anything to you, any big deal? One of the places, you know.
You know what? Not real. I've been in that building so many times. I mean, my teams at Memphis probably, I'm going to guess, 5, 6, 7 times, maybe more, 8, 10 times. My Massachusetts teams probably played in there, I'm guessing again, 8 to 10 times. And so, you know, when I was with the Nets, coached in there. I don't know if I ever won when I was with the Nets. Probably didn't. They fired me, so I probably lost. But we've won a bunch of games. We won some big-time games. We beat a North Carolina who was #1 in the country when I was at UMass. We beat Syracuse when they had the year they won the national title, and they had Carmelo. We ran an unbelievable play, and I take all the credit. The kid banked the 3 at the top of the key. Bang, bang. And we won that game. And Jim Boeheim after the game said, "Nice bank shot." But I mean, there's been some memorable games in there that I've coached that I remember. But it's neat for our guys. You go to the New York City, you get in that arena, and from what I understand, and Dwayne, tell me if I'm wrong. This is not about basketball, so you can answer this. Are we the first game in there?
No.
Are we the first basketball games?
To
The two.
Michigan State.
But I mean,
Since the renovation, yeah.
since the renovation, our games are the first games in that building. So they haven't, we're the renovations and now the new garden, and we're the first in there. We'll be the first college game in the Barclays Center the following year, so it's kind of neat.
John, a couple of years ago when you played up there was a lot of talk afterwards that you wanted to play up there more often, maybe even every year, every other year. Do you feel that way?
Sure, we can't, but you can't go in all the events, you can't do all those, and that's why we're kind of eliminating those. And still, our fans like to make trips, so we can make a trip on a 1-game shot somewhere. Try to make it a 2 or 3 day trip. It's cheaper anyway, and they still come and see us in New York or wherever else we choose to play that, that matchup, which would be a neutral site. But we enjoy being there. But let me just tell you again, this is going to be a hard game. It'll be a hard game for us to win. And all I told my team, let's be the best we can for a November 15th team with all young players. And if that's not good enough, we're walking on. And we'll go on to the next game. But let's just go in there with a loose play, nothing on us. Let's just go. Thank you.